ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, and that technicolor rainbow in between. Greetings and salutations. Welcome to the Maelstrom, week 18, baby. Woo! On Sunday, because I had a 10.5-hour shift yesterday and I was fucking dead. Whew. You gotta love working customer support for 10.5, 11, 12 hours at a time and not having energy for streaming, but glad to see everybody. Welcome in. Glad to see everybody here. It's me, Bobbert, Sir Bobbington, the Cursed One, and I am live from the public streaming room of the Maelstrom. But you're not here to hear me prattle on. You're here to see our D&D character anime figurines just smash against each other and see who's going to win a belt, who's going to live, who's going to die, and most importantly, who the hell is going to tell your story. And why does that cat have a miniature Tarrasque? Who's going to find out? Who's going to know for sure? But let's get our first match underway, shall we? There's a lot of shenanigans going on inside of the Maelstrom at the moment. And from what I understand, some of us have been playing Clue and Among Us together. Getting ready for the Season of Fear, I see. Also, one and all, members of the Maelstrom, I would like to greet everybody. 1 year the Maelstrom has been in action. Y'all know that? We opened up the Discord on
Fretha, can I have chicken nuggies?
September 3rd of last year. Chat Ram, you can have pie. I'm pretty sure there's some chicken nuggies inside of that pie. Season 1, folks. How long did Season 1 run? It was what? 3, 4 years? Going on 5 years? Catherine, thank you for your 38 months and a 27-month streak. About 4 years. I imagine Season 1 of the Maelstrom got a lot of people through the pandemic. That's the point, Anon. I love Goosler. Alpha. But why? So, story time with Bob. During the pandemic, how long ago was that? 2021. Yeah, the NDA is gone. I work for a company that runs call centers for companies that don't want to run their own call center, right? Basically outsourcing call centers. During the pandemic, I was tied to a retail chain. Like, when you hear a retail chain and one of the biggest retail stores in the world, you can probably guess the one that I was associated with. I worked the entire pandemic working customer service for that particular retail chain. The first quarter of the year, I was on the phones answering customer calls. The entire rest of the year, except for December, I was training classes and getting people ready to answer the phones. I have never had, like, this was about March, April of 2020. I have never had so many people calling looking for toilet paper in my life. And on top of that, I had to, like, I had my secret, I knew things about the website that, like, most people weren't supposed to know. So I had secrets. I had a secret stash of various restaurant quality toilet paper. I had all their item numbers bookmarked on the entire, like, on a list on my desktop. And anytime I found somebody that, like, was really, really bad off in need of it, like, handicapped people, special needs people, elderly people, so on and so forth, I would give them one of those order numbers, one of those item numbers, and I would point them towards the restaurant quality toilet paper. Yeah, it was one ply. Yeah, it was probably shit, but it was better than having nothing. Because everybody bought everything. Thank God that I actually listened to Kurt. So, about 3 months before the pandemic came to the US, right? Taka was losing his fucking mind. Like, dude knew it was coming. Dude was prepping like hell before it even got here. And he warned, like, everybody in, like, he warned all of his, like, inner circle that it was coming, to prepare and to get ready, that it was going to be bad. From everything that he could see from, like, the news and everything like that. I took him at his word, and I prepped myself. I had enough supplies to get through, basically, the pandemic. I just noticed there is a lot of people wearing that exact same T-shirt inside of the arena. Like, look at all those HBK shirts and the blue shirt in the back with the red heart on it. Like, they're... Oh, where is it? Look at the back just above the ref.
Well done, Bob. I'm proud of you. Helping folks out. Also, it's not my fault. It broke out of the lab. No worries, it will tire itself out at some point. Look at the Taker shirts, Bob.
Yeah, I see a number of them. What I'm looking at is the guys in the back. There is two guys with the same pink shirt, right? Blue shirt with pink images, right behind each other. And there's the same kid right next to him on either side. Also, Catherine, thank you for the 100 bits. Much appreciated. Also, what do you mean it broke out of the lab?
Don't worry about it.
I'm definitely worrying about it. How you doing, Rissa?
Not too bad. I am entranced at the moment.
Are you... Oh, fuck. I told you not to look into Goosler's eyes.
But it's so tempting.
I know, but you always have to be careful with anything that's touched by the Fae. Ah, fuck, I've lost him. Shit. And we got our first redemption of the grab bag.
Oh, it is the narrator of, you know, moving out.
Yes. Why did I just at myself? I don't fucking know. Squinto, the narrator of Heading Out the Game, which we played this last Friday. Enjoy your metal butter tin, marked with the words property of Professor Chaos. Enjoy that.
Nice. Someone's been to South Park.
Maybe. You know, I'm thinking about looking into, like, finding out how we're generating all these different items and seeing about getting some fresh ones. Like, say, for example, some of the items that have been submitted and developed by the folks over on our Discord in the Patreon. I need to field test it anyway. It's proving to be interesting data. Catherine, you're starting to get a little bit too big for them scientist britches you got. I fully expect to have a full list of the data that you collect on my desk at the end of the stream. I also expect a report of just how funny the chaos that it's wreaking is. That is interesting. I have not seen that from a character before. Like, I always expect to see them to go to the side of the rope and just crouch down and look. That's interesting.
A change to the entrance, perhaps?
Mm-hmm. And look at that! Marcus is outside talking to the crowd. He's not doing what they normally do.
Oh, yes. 24 did have an update the past couple of days.
This is 23.
Oh. Maybe it was backwards compatible as well. Who knows?
Maybe. Now that was how it usually ends. I love croquet. Like, you can tell whenever people made characters for Maelstrom, they went one of, like, two different ways. They went super serious, or they went completely shitpost. There's no in-between with them.
I'm assuming I would be super serious.
Really? You think you're the super serious one? The red cap wearing goblin?
I mean, you know, he is a mix of Warhammer and fantasy, so. But I mean, in terms of how I actually chose him, yeah, super serious.
You chose him to be serious, but you're playing him as a shitpost.
Yeah, a bit of both, actually.
And now we've initiated the conversation where people are going to be talking about if they built their character serious or if they built their character to be a shitpost.
Yes, Quinto. Super serial. But yeah, the method of creation was I took the list of races that were allowed, rolled the dice. So I picked a d20, got a goblin, and then I arranged the classes, and then rolled the dice, got wizard, and that's how I picked Zator. So if the dice had decided I was going to pick something else, then it would have been a completely different character.
That is an interesting idea.
Because there are people that are like, oh, I want to min-max my character. And there are people that are like, oh, I want to be casual with my character. And I'm like, we can do a combination of both. You do a chance, you know, like I do. Roll your species, roll your class, and then you maximize that shit. So it's a case of you have a bit of chance, and then the challenge is to find the best way to play that.
I like the way you think. Because that gives you the essence of chaos. But at the same time, it not only allows you to have that essence of chaos, but it also shows your skill in making a character.
Yeah, especially considering that Zator is like the first proper D&D character I've made. I mean, the first one I made was literally for a one-shot, and it's like, yeah, I wasn't going to use that character. I can't really use that character. Because I don't know if I can use that character. Or I have to make a copy of that character if I did.
Uh-oh. Not necessarily Kayeth. We're talking about how when people made their characters for Maelstrom, They're either going to be super serious, or they were complete shitposts. Okay. You got me curious. I want to try something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. How many races are there in D&D 5th edition rules using all official and non-homebrewed supplements? Okay, so there's 50 to 60 distinct races. I'm inspired at this point. We shitposting now, boys. And I see that Straw Hat shows up just in time to watch his ass beating.
Why am I in a handicap match? And don't say don't worry about it.
I would point that
Don't worry
direction
about
to
it.
the teams. Because you were picked to be in a handicap match.
Why?
Oh. I'm the booker. I don't get told why.
Technically, I'm not even there at the moment.
I mean, you are, but you aren't.
No, my arena self isn't even there.
Yet, here you are.
So, okay, what the heck? How am I supposed to explain this then? Because chaotic logic isn't applying in this situation.
Yes, it is. It's arena logic. It's
But if I didn't send
bullshittery.
myself to the arena, then how am I there?
The show
Bullshit.
the show specifically doesn't require you to be in the arena or in the main game. Because these matches are happening all the time, right?
Okay.
So this match might be at a point when Butler is at the arena, but it's not done in roleplay.
Could I ask for a hand wave here and say that Butler, on his way back to the farm, looked off and sent himself to the arena?
that's not really necessary. It's one of those things where whenever your match is there, you're brought to the arena. You're brought
Okay.
into the
So-
actual arena. You don't have to worry about where you are in arena roleplay or where you are in like actual roleplay. The show
it's like
itself.
So it's like I'm yoinked basically to the arena.
Yeah.
Kinda. But it doesn't.
Okay.
It's
It doesn't affect
I mean,
roleplay.
Imagine Bill and Ted, and they just yoink a historical figure out of time, and then they do their thing, and then they put them right back.
Yeah.
It's like going back in time to get the Infinity Stones, and then putting them right back at the moment that you got them.
I mean, it's like someone just basically pulls my arena self into the arena whenever it's time for a match. Is that what you're saying?
Kinda. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm going with then, because that's the only way I can understand it.
Bob, I'm going to show you something in microphone 3.
Oh yes, please.
There you go.
You're missing about 30 different races.
Well, I mean, it was at the time it was to make it fit a D20,
Fair.
and also in terms of classes, it was to make it fit a D12.
Fair.
So I'm trying to consider analog as well as digital.
Okay. Okay.
So, sorry for that laughter. I'm keeping my eye on something, and something funny just happened.
Oh no, I'm keeping my eye on multiple things. Okay, let's see. So I have 50 different races. That's 9 from the player's handbook, 3 from Sword Coast, 13 from Volos, 8 from Mordenkainen's, 4 from Elemental Evils, 4 from Eberron, 1 from the Turtle Package, 5 from Theros, 6 from Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica, and 2 from Wild Mount. So, generate me a random race from this previously listed generation. Okay, Furbolg. Okay, so it is going to be a Furbolg. List all D&D 5e classes from standard and
I noticed that Thorn isn't in his Horn Dante's form at the moment. Did he get his regular body back?
oh, that's what I was asked.
No. It's just whatever.
Artificer, total classes 13. From the total classes, pick a random class.
What's so funny?
I have a character that I'm building. And it's for this multi one-shot game. And I have to play the same character for all of them. I rolled dog shit for my stats. I just
As you
rolled...
do.
The stats that I rolled was like 8, 9... let me see, where are they? Eight, 9, 13, 13, 16, 17. List all backgrounds. List all 5e backgrounds in core and supplemental materials. Okay, so I've got a Furbolg Druid. But what's going to be my background? How is this going to be... How I'm going to make this crazy? Generate one background from the previous list. Far Traveler. Okay. Eight, 9, 13, 13, 16, 17.
Who enters?
One has chosen.
Okay. Generate all D&D 5e subclasses for Druid from core and recognized supplemental materials.
Are we doing random characters now?
I've got a game that I was invited to that it's a series of like one shots with the same character. So I thought for sheer chaos, I'm going to roll a random race, random class, random subclass, random background, and random stats. And it's my job to build a character from there. Generate a random subclass from the previously listed classes. Circle of Stars Druid.
Ooh, I do like Circle of Stars.
generate 3 random character histories for a Furbolg of Stars druid that has the Far Traveler background. I'm not even letting myself make my own background. I'm generating a random background too.
Beautiful.
Okay. So I'm going to read something to y'all, and let me know which one you like more. Option number 1. The Cosmic Wanderer. Born deep within the ancient forests of a distant, long-forgotten land, this Furbolg always felt a unique connection to the stars. Guided by visions from the constellations, they left their homeland to seek out the source of cosmic power calling to them. Their journey took them across vast seas and strange cities, where they often are seen as a curiosity. They wander from place to place, seeking ancient temples, ruins, and celestial observatories, certain that the stars hold the key to an event of great cosmic importance. Although shy around city dwellers, they have often learned to interpret the ways of civilization through their travels, finding allies where the stars guide them. Number 2, the Exiled Star Watcher. Exiled from their forest home after a great disaster, this Furbolg was blamed for reading the stars incorrectly, leading their tribe into catastrophe. They were banished for their false prophecies and have been wandering the world ever since, seeking redemption. Along the way, they've honed their abilities in the Circle of Stars, finding deeper and more meaningful connections to the celestial bodies. Despite their initial reluctance, the Furbolg has learned to embrace their exile as an opportunity to see more of the world than they ever imagined. Their ultimate goal is to prove that the stars never lie, and they hope one day to return to their homeland with knowledge that could prevent future calamity. The 3rd, the Celestial Nomad. From an isolated mountain range where few have ever dared to tread, this Furbolg grew up watching the stars wheel across the sky, untouched by the affairs of mortals. They received visions of distant worlds and powerful celestial beings who revealed knowledge about the universe. Following these visions, they left their tranquil mountain home to journey into the world. They have traveled to many lands, acting as a guide for those in need of celestial insight. Their calm and quiet demeanor often leads people to underestimate their wisdom and power. But the Furbolg is content to observe and help others navigate their own destinies, trusting that their own path will reveal itself in time.
How are they interfering more than once? I thought you couldn't do that.
It's a tag match.
But you can't interfere more than once in a tag match. It locks you out.
It's a handicap match. You are at the disadvantage, which means both of them are legal.
They don't have that little gimmick that locks you out whenever the non-legal man enters the ring.
You're talking about the technical aspect of it.
Yeah, isn't that mechanic in this version?
Oh. I know that if they enter the ring and they're not the legal man, they have a five count to leave, or they get disqualified.
I mean, you can only enter from in 24.
Yes.
You can only enter the. Oh wait, this is 23. Never mind.
Butler, go for the count out. You know, advanced tactics.
Don't you idiot, get in the ring.
Oh, 3. Alright.
So option 1 is the most hopeful of the 3 options. It is the true traveler of the stone. Option 2 is better for a longer campaign and not going across multiple campaigns. It makes less sense for what you're going to be doing.
Cosmic Wanderer exiled. Or... There we go. I set up a poll for it.
I mean, I'm personally biased towards Celestial Nomad, however.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you want to know something hilarious, Bob?
What's that?
Furbolg, I found, is the best base for translating the Kadath from the Vismine system into 5e.
Let me double check and make sure. Ah, I still owe Stormtrooper a item.
Yes. And your winner, Bastion Butler.
Not bad. It is very close between Cosmic Wanderer and Celestial Nomad.
I would like to disqualify a number of votes for Celestial Nomad.
Why?
I have reasons.
You would like to, but is there a reason for it?
Yes.
Would you like to go into those reasons?
No.
Hmm. I see that both of them were at 69 for a while. Nice.
Yeah.
Also, just a heads up, I am going to be going through and taking a look at everybody's builds. Just to let you know, there may be some modifications or slight alterations to certain people's builds. Whenever I go through them, I do my very sweeps to make sure that everything is okay. Everything is following up as per usual for this kind of thing with show managing. 84 to 84. Ooh, this is close.
Oh yeah. Luigi.
Somebody's spending points to make this thing even.
I would like to disqualify some of the points on Celestial Nomad.
Yeah. Is that so Cosmic Wanderer will win?
No.
Out on vacation for a while? Hope you're not in a match then. It's getting close. 130, 128. 132, 133. 34, 37. 37, 42. 42, 47. 45, 51. Almost there. 49, 55. Celestial Nomad won.
So you know, Bob, about 100 of those votes for Cosmic Wanderer were just me trying to hang the vote. I have fun.
Good. I'm happy.
Oh, sorry, I was voting Nomad, apparently. What makes the lamp gnomish?
It's a gnomish lamp. It's in its construction.
Fair. And the lovely librarian lady, Lexi Khan. No, it's been too long since I've done intros on a wrestling show.
That's very strange.
Matrix, aren't you a very orderly individual outside of the machinations of fate?
What does these powers do exactly? 5E, far traveler, background. How can I turn this to my advantage and make a busted-ass character?
Carefully.
Insight, perception, musical instrument, language is one of your choice. Okay, feature. Why are you here? A far traveler might have set out on a journey for a number of reasons, departing from their homeland.
The Modrons are trying to tell you something, Matrix.
All eyes on you. Your accent, mannerisms, figure of speech, and perhaps even your appearance mark you as foreign. Curious glances are directed at you wherever you go, which can be a nuisance but also gain you friendly interest of scholars and others intrigued by your land. You can parlay this attention into access to people and places you might not otherwise have. For you and your traveling companions, noble lords, scholars, and merchant princes, to name a few, might be interested in hearing about your homeland. Huh. Okay. Circle of Stars Druid. Okay, what does the Circles of Stars do?
A lot of stuff, really. It is a support class that also focuses on range. You can forgo most of your weapons for your wild shape because you get a free bow and arrow with it. You get, I believe, the chalice gives you a heal, and the dragon gives you a boost on concentration.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
Oh, I believe it. So fun fact, Bob. One of the characters that I considered and ultimately said no to bringing into the Maelstrom was Ancestor Ramheim, who is a Circle of Stars Druid Minotaur. Because Ramheims focus heavily on bows. I said no simply because Ancestor Ramheim is meant to be a more mythological feature in my settings. I don't want to bring mythological characters into Maelstrom by accident.
Okay, clubs, daggers, darts, javelins, maces, quarterstaff, sickles, slings, spears. Light armor, medium armor, and shields.
Kath, Ling Shi is not a turtle man. He is a man wearing a turtle shell. And yes, Langshi and his brother Moral are tough as nails.
I hope so, because they may have started. They may have accidentally made some trouble
Mm.
with I believe 4 creatures with spears pointed at them. One of them decided to walk up to the smallest of them, cast a spell, and try to touch them.
Pat him on the head.
Yeah, actually. They then subsequently got stabbed at 4 times and crit twice. And
I mean, that sounds about right. Especially because the one trying to do the touching is a non-combatant, technically.
uh-huh. And now we have to see if combat is about to start or not, because they still have an opportunity to calm this shit down. They have a chance, but it's going to be difficult. I wonder what kind of... It's been a while since I played a druid.
Druids are fun. Let's see. Fungi and Yigya were my first 2 druids in ages.
Kath, you can make a bet to yourself. Also, just a heads up, when there's folks pointing weapons at you, it's not exactly a great idea to start casting magic.
I mean, if you do, you need to really hope that one of them understands magic and then can identify the spell on the fly.
It was for Vegapygmies
Yes.
who don't speak common.
No. And they don't tend to have access to the spell that was cast.
No. Absolutely. It was a sound plan.
It was an excellent idea. I honestly applaud Paige for going through with it. Because if she manages to get that spell off in spite of being stabbed, you guys are basically golden. You just need to pass the persuasion.
Yep. And now, basically, initiative has been rolled. The spell has gone off. The fact that you offered food is why they didn't attack you immediately.
Yeah. Food only works so well.
I'm confident we can take them if a fight happens. There's 3 of you, and one of you has taken about 35 points of damage. And you don't know what's in the compound, because you know that there's 3 on either side of the wall with slings, 4 in the middle, plus the small fry, plus whatever's in the back.
Yeah. Now you see, Zach, here, have a corn dog, don't hit me. Only works if they can understand you when you offer them the corn dog.
That's like yelling Mumbahi and then throwing a steak at somebody.
Oh, Lord, what would that be? Hang on.
You know, their stormtrooper Goliath thought the same thing.
So Bob,
Yes.
for what you just said, basically a combination of what you just said and what Zach said. Yopnagum. Volbaminte. You understand what that says?
No. I would have to see I would have to see it. No. Right off the bat, just seeing it written down? Probably not.
For a more Earth-based example, it's like yelling German at somebody from England or America. Chances are they don't understand German.
That's like yelling Krankenswagen and then hucking a bratwurst at somebody.
Schmuckyville! That's a fun one because that translates to butterfly. The bangin' wagon?
Yeah, like ambulance is like Krankenwagen or something like that.
Yeah.
I think like Schmetterling or something like that is butterfly or some shit.
So practically speaking, slings are silly weapons because there's a list of things you can do to modify a sling, including put it on a stick, which makes it more dangerous and more reliable. You can also change the type of stone you're using, which makes it more dangerous and or potentially more reliable. Slings are a terrifying weapon. Speaking of, Yig still has his sling wrapped around his arm. He just hasn't used it in ages. Probably because it's a hunting weapon and not a combat weapon. Oh, you want to know something fun, Bob? I recently learned how to make a sling stick.
A hoopak?
Basically, the difference is a hoopak is also a musical instrument. The sling stick is a silly thing because it's a sling that is tightly secured on one end to a stick, and the other end of the sling is loosely hooked over a notch in the stick, so that when you swing the stick at a certain rate, the one end of the sling comes off, and it yeets whatever ammunition you have almost exactly to distance every time. Basically turning yourself into a trebuchet. Alpha, yes. David used a hand sling on Goliath. Which chances are David was about 5 foot flat, and Goliath was 8'2". There's Squinto. Called shots. Called shots are hilarious and terrifying. Have I told you of the silliest cold shot that's happened in one of my campaigns, Bob?
Do tell.
So El Robot is playing a investigator, a private eye, in one of my campaigns, and I run with escalating cold shots, which means every time you roll a d20 at nat 20, you can roll another d20 and potentially add to damage or add different effects, depending on what you feel like. This man rolled 5 nat 20s in a row, doing a grand total of 6 additional dice of damage on a cold shot to the head.
Oof.
That said, it was a mini boss, so he did gobsmacks of damage, but it didn't die. One of the few times that'll happen. Because I think he ended up rolling something like 40 damage with one shot. Lexi looks like she's picking up speed. I have a weird question. Is it Ezra or Urza? I don't think Hex is actually here to help us out with that.
I think it's Urza. I want to say it's Ezra. Well, we'll see when we talk to Hex.
I mean, Hex will probably see the stream later tonight, so. As long as he doesn't pull a me, we'll be fine. Well, Ezra Arusa, he's very good at cooperating with his tag partner. I have a weird one for you, Bob.
Mm-hmm.
What is your least favorite character you've ever played for D&D?
Ooh, a character I hated. That's the thing. If I hate the character, it's going to be forced out of my memory in 20 plus years.
Oh, yeah, no, that's why I'm saying your least favorite, not your most hated.
One that I just didn't enjoy playing.
Because
It wasn't D&D, but it was a role-playing game. It was a modified version of D20 Modern.
Alright.
I was this chaotic fucking gremlin. But this is back when I was still in my early phases of tabletop gaming. I didn't understand how to properly play D&D. So I was being an impulsive jackass. I was very impulsive. I didn't understand how to play well with people. I didn't understand a lot of my spells. My favorite spell was Fireball, and I didn't care if I caught anybody in the blast. I was stupid back then. So, the character that I played, it was a modern game. And we had basically made... Everybody was... It was this post-apocalyptic world where everybody had developed mutations. And... we all developed certain special abilities. Mine was... I had a gland in my throat that let me spit poison.
Yeah.
I was often harassed because I didn't look mutated, so people thought I was a normal human. But I had a penchant for destruction. And my party quickly got fed up with my bullshit. We made a battle bus, right?
Yeah.
We made a war bus. And I decided that I was going to take a compartment in the bottom of the battle bus for my own. And I was going to make explosives while we were riding down the road. Namely,
Ooh.
I was working with nitroglycerin while we were riding in a bus
Dear
on
God.
a road.
That's a choice.
My party, realizing that I'm going to fuck up and kill us all,
Because the rules of Bob exist for a reason.
this was before the rules of Bob existed, but yes, they proceeded to spend a number of sessions proceeding to club me unconscious. Anytime that we would get to the bus, they would just beat the shit out of me, knock me unconscious, and just leave me on the ground. It got to the point, at one point, they straight up fucking attached me to the hood of the bus like a living ship maps.
Like that scene in Fury Road.
Yes. It got to the point that I just started bringing my Game Boy to D&D. Because after they beat the shit out of me, I would just have nothing to do for about 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
So I would just start playing
So-
D&D.
So they literally Mr. T you.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
And it
yeah,
got...
no,
Oh, that's not all. It got to the point... Like, they didn't... They explained their reasonings, like, hand-wavedly at that time while they were doing it. But none of them actually sat down and had the talk with me, you know? Nobody had that safety talk. So after a while, I started getting frustrated. So I just made a dead man switch. Where if my heart rate went down below a certain point, like if I was, and this is me not thinking ahead back then, and I learned from this. I made a dead man switch that if I ever went unconscious, it would go off. Now, who can see what I did not?
I can immediately see about 6 things that can set that off.
Uh-huh! It was about 3 sessions before I started regretting my decisions. That's the thing. The bus didn't even go boom. We were in combat. My hit points were low, and I realized, oh shit, I had the Deadman switch still active. Another instance of an instance of I liked the character, but I made a rookie mistake, and it left a mark on me that followed me for years. I was playing a wizard at the time. It was an elven wizard. He was kidnapped as a child, and he was raised in basically a magic cult that worshipped the goddess Mistra. They kidnapped him because they thought he was going to be like a prodigy. So he grew up with an innate knack for magic. And we played the campaign, and in the middle of exploring one dungeon, we're walking down a tunnel, and all of a sudden we see a single mind flare just walking down the hallway. And me, having never seen a mind flare before, I got curious. So I decide to cast tongues on myself and as many people in the party that I could. Because I wanted everybody to have this roleplay experience. I wanted to talk to the damn thing. So I casted tongues on myself and our ranger. Meanwhile, the 2 other members of the party, apart from me and the ranger, hit the wall, slid along the wall, and left us behind. They noped out of the situation. They didn't attack it. They noped the fuck out. So the Mind Flayer, interested that we could talk to it, basically focused on us, talked to us for a moment before it wrapped the tentacles around our heads. And the DM rolled a d4 and basically gave us that many turns to escape the grapple, or it was an instant death. So I am stabbing the fuck out of this thing. but I had like 2 turns.
Whoa.
The ranger had 1.
Ew.
And so, the ranger's player, this was, and what's worse is the ranger, it was their first game with the party.
Oh. Yeah, no, shit like that absolutely sucks as a first game.
And so the ranger held a grudge against me for years because of that. I mean literal years. There was instances where there would be little things that they would do here and there that they knew they could get away with against me.
Yeah.
Like, say for example, if I was doing somewhat well in a game, at least this is my opinion. They were a budding DM in and of themselves, right? And so every other week they'd be inspired to DM a new game. And so the game that we're playing would end up being tossed aside. We would go to their new game, and they would DM for a few weeks. And then they would get bored, want to play again. And then all of a sudden our main DM would pick up a new game. I tried my hand at DMing. And granted, my DMing isn't for everybody. Like I had a goofy comic relief character. And I was setting up I was basically running kind of a mockery of Resident Evil 1.
Yeah.
And I was making a swerve. Like I had this I wanted to make them think that I was putting Nemesis from Resident Evil 2 into or is it Resident Evil 3 into my game. But I faked them out. It was basically a comic relief character. It was a tiny character that could talk, but it talked in a super deep baritone Arkoff-like voice. Said player thought that the game was stupid, didn't want to play it anymore, and he convinced above game half of the players just commit suicide so they could go play one of his games. And I gave up trying to DM after that.
Which is unfortunate.
Until... Excuse me. I gave up trying to DM for that group. I've had times where I had and of course this is no ill will towards this particular person. I don't have any. We played our games even after all this. We still played D&D together. We still, worked together. And then eventually that group fell apart and kind of faded away, and they went about our ways. I went about mine. But I had an instance where, and this might be my own skewed perspective. I had a really good encounter, probably like one of those encounters that I always have, one of those encounters that you tell stories for years later.
Oh, yeah.
We ended up going through an adventure. I took charge in the adventure, and I ended up saving a child of Bahamut. And Bahamut could see that through the use of basically a soul-devouring knife, I used it to kill a Balrog. So, and because of the fact that I rolled so high, I killed this thing like 5 different ways in a single sneak attack, by the way.
Beautiful.
It was going to make me a half fiend. I was already a tiefling. So it was going to make me a half fiend, a half devil tiefling.
Well, that would have been interesting.
Bahamut saw that, and saw that even though I was an assassin, he realized that sometimes good needs assassins. So he said, you know what, fuck that, you're not becoming a half devil, half demon. I'm making you a dragon. And I got turned into a young adult platinum dragon.
Ooh.
With my class levels, and I would be able to play the rest of the game as that young adult, or not, young platinum dragon. And the next week, our ranger player suddenly gets a brand new idea, and we change campaigns. The next session.
Yeah, no, that sounds about right.
Let's see. There was the time that I played a Kinder. I was playing this was when I was a little bit more experienced. I was playing a Kinder thief. Working with the Kinder Curiosity, I found a glove. I put the glove on. It wouldn't come off.
Sounds about right.
So we went to a tavern, and the party was laughing, joking. They were drinking dwarven spirits. They thought it was a they thought it was a funny idea to give dwarven spirits to the Kinder.
Oh, that's a terrible idea.
It was. I didn't even get to bring it to my lips. I lifted it towards me, and the smell alone knocked me out because I failed my con save.
Beautiful.
The only person that saw the 2 street thugs dragging me out of the tavern was said player, who was playing a lawful good cleric.
I would have immediately changed him to lawful evil at that point.
The DM actually punished him for that because he watched said person. He watched said thugs drag me off.
Yeah, I've played with a character like Asshole Ranger before, and they will ruin campaigns for spite.
So turns out they couldn't get the glove off of my hand. You know what they did?
Cut it off.
They cut my hand off. After that, I think the DM I think they could see that it was starting to bother me a little bit. So they told me what the glove did. It was a glove of leprosy. The glove would have given me leprosy, which would have slowly killed me and then turned me into an undead.
That's an interesting take.
And so the DM actually worked with me shortly after that and said that the DM and I worked together, and we twisted this into an interesting thing. Kayas, are you aware of who the goddess Tymora is?
Probably a few years ago. Oh, just so you're aware, Bob, the stream on Discord is imploded.
That's a shame.
And there's 3 redeems as well.
It's been a good story.
I will I will get those in just a moment. The goddess Tymora is a halfling goddess. Noticeably the goddess of like bounty, fertility, and luck. And so my DM talked about how sometimes with Tymora it's a flip of the coin. What may seem like a tails now might in fact be a heads. You may have lost your hand, but you also lost the curse because of it.
Yeah.
And so I actually twisted that and turned that, and my kinder began worshiping Timora because of it, and started going luck based. I end up getting a stump knife, which I really like the stump knives. I've actually had like 3 or 4 characters lose limbs or lose eyes, and they always go with a stump knife.
Oh yeah, no. Stuff like that is always great. Honestly, if Yig wasn't the type of character he was, he'd have a tail knife because they're hilarious.
Mm-hmm. Like real talk, one of my favorite. No, for the eye, I lost an eye because of a drow nat 20ing me with a crit with a crossbow bolt. I end up getting a Gem of True Seeing put in there. But for a stump knife, what my favorite thing is to do is have the stump knife and then have like a prosthetic limb on top of it, and have like quick release latches on it, so I can reach out and shake somebody's hand, and as they're grasping my hand, I yank my arm back, yank the stump back. They're left with the arm in their hand, and I immediately come in with a sneak attack with the stump knife.
Now you see, Bob, that wouldn't work for one reason.
Mm-hmm.
You've been disarmed.
Mm. I get your joke. Next up is Straw Hat.
Draw what?
Next up is Straw Hat. Next up is Rosso.
What does the goblin find?
The Gobo finds a gun. Unfortunately, it has no bullets. Ooh, that's a fun one.
That's interesting. Why does that sound so familiar though?
Now, you see, when I think white metal, my brain either goes silver or aluminum, and I don't know why.
Oh no.
Oh, I know what it is now. Oh.
I mean, Aura did get a lot of round items at one point. I know what song it is, Bob.
What
It's
is?
Hey There, Delilah.
Mm.
Bob, should I guess as to what the name is on the ring?
Go ahead.
Is it Grekel's real name?
Mm. Interesting theory.
You knew where I was going with that, didn't you? I have watched Unexpectables.
I've been in the Unexpectables.
I was Unexpectables adjacent at one point in time. I'm still not sure how I feel about it.
For those that watch The Unexpectables but don't know, episode 101 of the original series, I was one of the voices of Omnimaw.
Omnimal?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
It is it's basically an entity that is able to steal the voices and talents of various people. When they speak with like hundreds of voices. No,
Beautiful.
that's Panic's like great grandfather or something like that. Panic's mom was stealing voices to give to Omnimaw. Let me see. It was Malarvik, Owlfluffs, myself, Cheru, Bosco, Arkolf, Joe Cat, Arkolf, myself, a lot of people. Arkolf
My contribute.
Hmm?
I was gonna let you continue.
Arkolf and I still have that line memorized, by the way. If you start that line in Arkolf's presence, he will finish it.
Beautiful.
You were saying, Rosso?
Like my contribution in terms of Unexpectables is the Unexpectables.
Yeah, you did the artwork for it. You did fan art, I believe.
Mm-hmm. And it was basically turning into a comic.
Mm-hmm. I remember that. I think it was either Zito or Goomba was really impressed.
The first episode of season 2, he was very much impressed because it was one of those things of I had to do research on like a Japanese theater sort of setup, and so I'm trying to replicate it with 3D objects in Clip Studio Paint just so I can get it to look right. But yeah, he said on stream like it was good. Still on hiatus.
I'll be back. I thought I heard somebody knocking.
Yeah, no worries. Go tend to your ghosts. Watch this. There's just 30 snakes at his front door trying to get in.
Shut the fuck up!
Was that directed at me or the ghosts, Bob? Thank you for confirming that, sir.
Nah, it's just some pixies.
Only a couple of pixies today? Well, I hope they brought him something nice this time.
I think they did. Well, they should have.
But I want to see snakes. I think they are cool.
Oh, hey, maybe there's 30 snakes waiting for Bob. Fuck off.
Well, I mean, there has to be at least 36 snakes, because that would institute enough muscle mass for them to be able to knock at the door.
Would it really take 36?
Depending on how high they want to reach on the door, yes.
Okay, that's fair.
And your winner, Howler. Oh yeah, no, Zach. It 100% depends on the breed. I was going with a very specific breed of snake because they already have a history of getting into Bob's place.
I mean, GG to Howler, but is he going to win the Witching Hour?
Question.
Hmm.
The Witching Hour has been hilarious from my point of view so far.
Oh yeah, it is hilarious because it's like when you see like just how things have just kind of devolved in that. It's like as a player, I'm like the fuck.
JC does a wonderful job with his events.
Oh no, he does. He absolutely does.
It's a shame that I'm legally not allowed to be a player under JC right now.
I mean, Nisa slash Miska has been crushed by a piano. That is the latest fatality at the moment.
I mean, at least Nisa was finally able to tune out Miska.
Which one?
Yes. There were 88 keys on the piano, and Nisa found the one that got her out of the mansion. Unfortunately, the key was a B flat.
Bob, just out of curiosity, did you find anything when you opened your door or looked out your door?
I don't think so.
Okay.
It was probably the pixies then.
I looked outside. I saw dark. I went to my back door. Nothing there but growing plants. I looked over towards my other back door. Too many plants to be seen, but I didn't see the shape of a humanoid figure. They're over there. Oh. Probably somebody ding-dong ditching.
People still do that?
Yep.
Okay, great.
Bob, your nearest neighbor is like 10 minutes walk away.
10-minute walk for me, maybe. Like, maybe a
Your
minute.
nearest neighbor is a 5-minute walk away.
Let's see.
Some people can sprint pretty far.
I mean, you do not want to sprint through open field at night.
Yeah.
I was wondering about that, Bob. Thank you.
Alpha, thank you for 200 bits. Also, everybody, please join me in shilling hashtag JoeMojo.
Shill Joe.
Joe, the wonderful individual who occasionally voices one of the wrestling shows in MNW. Very occasionally at this point in time. I have had somebody try to ding-dong dash me once since I've taken over these two buildings. The problem with that is I have a nasty habit of apparating outside when somebody does it. Oh, good. Joe is finally going to accept the love.
Good.
He's going to accept it begrudgingly, but he's going to accept it.
He has no choice.
It's like when you take in a stray, and you try to you try to pet them and show them affection, and they start growling and snarling at you. But eventually, as you keep on doing it, they get used to it and they stop growling at you. It's only a matter of time before Joe starts liking it.
Yeah. I mean, he is a wonderful individual who deserves all the kindness we can give him.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm. Okay, is this dude an orange dragon?
I think
No, he's a gold dragon. It's just really hard to get a metallic color in the PNG files that I sent Squinto.
Okay, so, I'm sorry, did you say bronze or copper?
Gold.
Oh, he's gold. Okay, the color was throwing me off. Yeah, although that would be hard to do.
Our options were either make the skin texture look really nice and give it the right hue, or make it look metallic. I am not good enough in my 5-minute Photoshop skills to do both, making it metallic and getting it the right color and good scale texture.
That's called Stockholm Syndrome, Bob. Stockholm Schmackholm. He will be
I've
my
lived in
friend
both
and
of
he
those
will like it.
He has no choice, Vegeta.
The loving of Joe will continue until morale improves.
Mm-hmm.
And then it will continue even more.
Yes.
This is truth. I mean, he has no choice. He keeps showing up where people appreciate him.
Yes. Which, to be fair, we never said it would stop when morale improves. We would just say it would continue until, and then continue after, potentially.
Fair.
Hello, Mythic. Oh, good. Cam has finally caught up in the chat to finding out the song coming from the item they got was "Hey There, Delilah."
Or Baby Shark.
Baby shark, doo 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 doo. That's all I know.
Alright, the doors are locked. You're all in the dungeon. There's no way out. Now it's time for 5 hours of Baby Shark.
I have bad news for you, Mr. Bob. There's a drain, and I can fit through it.
Wait till you see what's down the drain.
I've seen worse. I've already given him a cookie, and I've gotten free passage for it. Don't ask what was in the cookie.
Good luck. I'll see you in about 20 minutes.
Is it 24 hours of Baby Shark and then 24 hours of Barbie Girl? On max volume.
So it's 3 hours of What's New Pussycat, then a single instance of It's Not Unusual, and then 3 more hours of What's New Pussycat to give you that one. That one It's Not Unusual is to give you hope that it's over.
I mean, the other one you can do that with is Tub Thumping. Because that one loops really nicely as well.
Like, I have seen, like, I love a song that is just meant and set up to loop. Like, one of my favorite games was Nightmare Before Christmas, Oogie's Revenge. It was like Nightmare Before Christmas 2, Oogie's Revenge, or something like that. Where Oogie takes over Halloween Town and Jack has to take control of it again with a new invention called the Soul Robber. Trust me, you'll be aware it's called the Soul Robber because Jack screams its name every 15 seconds while you're attacking with it.
I can't imagine why he'd pull an anime protagonist like that. It's not like they put him into a Final Fantasy game at any given point in time.
All right.
Yeah.
Not a movie, but there was a game.
Isn't Uki's Revenge a prequel to Nightmare Before Christmas?
No, it was. Oogie's Revenge is after when Oogie tries to become the Seven Holidays King by taking over all of the holidays.
Ah, fair.
And
Because I know one of the games is a prequel to it, and I couldn't remember which one.
The interesting thing about this is, it's a musical game, right?
Yeah.
All the boss fights are fucking musicals. Like,
I mean,
certain points in the boss fights, it's like rhythm game musical cutscenes.
Stormtrooper, it's a mess. That's what it is.
We're gonna find out because I don't remember.
Ooh. That'll be fun.
You're about to find out because I'm about to summon it.
Is it just me, or does Order have a stacked ballot in this again?
Oh, funny that.
Yeah.
I seem to recall that happening for season 1 at times, too.
Well, that was because balance was destroyed early on.
Yeah.
And chaos was full of heals.
True.
Like, all the people from balance that got brought in, they got put into chaos when it was eaten. And so people started fleeing. They either left teams altogether, or they went into Haven.
True.
Stormtrooper, you say that, but I remain blameless.
No, I don't think Kaya did anything in season 1 that was remotely his fault.
I mean, I did nothing bad in season 1.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe the surgeon might have, but he was so on the down low, I don't think many people noticed. I mean, it's not like he was trying to nuke an area.
Nah. Mithril taking issue with Ref.
Yeah, the ref is kind of fine. Maybe.
We do have resurrectionists on staff, so even if they're not, they will be.
Well, definitely getting kicked. And just shove him out of the ring.
You know who I miss? I miss Kin. Kin would always get back up after you knock him down.
It's true, he did. Especially after his visit to Neverward.
Exactly. He
was very durable.
He was. I'm just very sad that he was an anti-vaxxer and he refused to quarantine. Speaking of flexible, holy shit, that arm.
Yep.
That's okay, they didn't need that anyways. Just a pile of bodies in the corner.
They don't need it. Does anyone mind if I take it?
I mean, I already have dibs.
Darn it.
It's part of my contract.
Alright, that's fair. I'll have to talk to Lawson about that.
I mean, I'm willing to rent out anything I pick up at a reasonable cost.
The problem, it might get what's the word I want? Consumed.
I
Oh,
can't
that's
help.
right.
I can't help but make an observation.
What?
I'm in a call with a Fae, a being that has been accused of consorting with Fae, and a goblin which may or may not be Fae.
When I picked my particular goblin, I did not go with the Fey version.
I mean, are you part fungus? If so, you might be Fey. Because not everything Fey realizes it's Fey, because Fey is a blanket term.
True.
In Warhammer 40k, is orc meat served as a vegetarian option for corpse starch?
No, because you don't eat orc, you eat gobos.
I mean, what is a gobbo but an underdeveloped orc?
Fair. But does the Imperium allow for eating Xenos?
Not really.
I'm sure there's at least one hive that does. They just don't tell anyone what it is.
No. You are correct. They do eat Xenos. It is the I think is it amble steak? Yes, because I read it in one of the Caiaphas Cain novels.
Ah.
Caiaphas Cain, hero of the Imperium.
Yep, they found these sort of creatures. You can fight them in Warhammer Bolt Gun, and they're these large charging creatures. Usually, they would dig underground, sort of thing. And so, the regiment he was serving with managed to have a whole lot of steaks after they dealt with that.
Tasty. Well, I meant more intelligent Xenos. I mean, orcs, kind of? Okay, well, they kind of count, I guess.
Are
I don't
orcs
know.
intelligent, really?
That's a good point, Bob.
Only in large numbers, because each orc represents a single brain cell.
Fair. But would the Imperium want to eat them?
I mean, the orcs are starting to get smart. They are beginning to lock on to trends. I mean, the orcs are starting to talk about being demure.
This is true. There's also a bunch of them that have locked on to Angron and have decided he's got to go.
I think canonically there has been a resurgence of 2 Krorks and a number of proto-Krorks. Which basically means orcs are starting to hit the critical mass where they're starting to be what they were during the War in Heaven.
Oh my. That's gonna get messy.
Yes.
So, what about Gazgul then?
Maybe he counts already as one?
I can't remember if Gazgul is a normal orc or if he's a proto-Krork.
Quark.
He probably is.
I hate the word too, Bob, don't worry.
All I know is he's very, very angry. And Angron's getting the blame.
I mean, to be fair, anything that can interest Angron is amazing because that means he's feeling something other than anger. I see, Zach. The War of the Beast is what I was referencing, because the Beast is thought to be a Krork, which is why it took out the what's his name, the Primarch of the Salamanders.
Vulcan.
Vulcan. There we go. Captain McHugsalot.
I wish to pet this creature. It would be but a single boop on its noggin.
I think there's only 2 people not bleeding in this fight now.
That sounds about right.
Please do note for Warhammer 40k, I do not use proper terminology because while I do enjoy the lore, I refuse to become invested in Warhammer 40k.
Fair enough.
Well, damn, they still fighting.
And the thing is that of every character that I've ever read about in terms of 40k, I'm probably Jurgen.
My biggest problem with Warhammer 40k is spontaneous idiot plot. Half of the stuff in the Imperium could have been avoided if one person didn't suddenly become a moron at a critical point in time.
You know the one thing that I hate about Warhammer?
Mm.
Is the decision to make that one guardsman that stood in front of Horus actually plot relevant. Don't fucking do that. Just make him a fucking guardsman.
I mean, sometimes you need somebody to be the sacrificial lamb just to be the sacrificial lamb.
Mm-hmm. Like, it makes that sacrifice so much more potent and so much more intense if it's just a guardsman. Like, there's so much energy and focus put on the Astartes, but in a critical moment where everything was on the line, one random ass fucking farmer from who the fuck knows where bought enough time to save everything, you know?
Oh yeah, no. Well, Quentin is probably imploded there, Anon. His lumbar is acting up.
I mean, it almost looks like as if someone's got a whole person spell on him.
I know, right?
Not my fault this time.
Hold up. Oh,
Yep,
shit.
Quentin's dead.
What the fuck? Uh-oh.
You can't move him.
Not only can I not move him, my screen is fucked.
Well, the game's still running according
Oh,
to the
damn.
Discord screen. And the Twitch stream is still running.
Can we get a number of exclamation point 2Ks in chat?
Quinto, you take that back.
Other way around, Cap.
That's what I get.
No, Quentin is straight up
Don't worry.
fucked.
Well,
I
damn.
mean, if it's an elimination, that means he got knocked out at some point and we didn't notice.
What the fuck?
Would it help if somebody hit him?
Apparently not. Oh, his hitbox is disjointed as well. Oh no.
Oh my.
Apparently my controller is fucked.
That's unfortunate.
Very.
You tried pulling it out and putting it back in again.
Like
Now, Joe.
it's controlling weird. It's making weird controls.
Yeah. Now, Joe, would Lucius not cast a paralyzing spell on Quentin because he is above that? Or would he not do that because he doesn't know the spells?
Okay. Let me try to grab Lucius. What are the controls? Move, run. What is the basic attacks? E? J. Okay.
J for Drapple. Because Teriel's on Quentin's team, I don't know if you can target him.
I can't even target him. Oh.
Hey, he's fixed.
Very good.
Lucius, we apologize for the invasion of your mind. We required your martial expertise to break audience interference.
We needed to break concentration.
Yeah.
Somebody was playing naughty. Wanting to make
I
statues.
know, it's not Mr. E, is it?
I mean, it might be mystery. Mystery might be trying to make it stacked against balance because balance went with order this week.
I can't help but notice how the pin was in the ring, and there was nothing about it. And Quentin is about to immediately hit the finisher and grab the win with everybody on the outside.
Beautiful. And your winners... Actually, what is the team name? Hang on a second. You'd think I'd be prepared for this. No, I wasn't expecting. And your winners, the High and Mighty. High and Mighty gets to do a single team-on-team against the Sons of Scylla next week.
Ain't that a bitch?
Ew.
Quentin got so much time to recover being frozen. Tariel counterspelling, basically getting Lucius to break concentration on that spell to give him a good whack. And that gave him enough time to take the short rest, recover hit points, and get the victory.
Beautiful.
Funny that, huh?
Ladies and gentlemen, as a friendly reminder, please keep any and all gods you may have brought with you into the arena on leash.
Good luck with that, by the way.
I mean, it's a rule. We do our best to enforce it, but there's only so much we can do.
I mean, the big boss of Chaos is keeping people out. I mean, somebody poked their head in, and he immediately shut it down like, nope, not having that shit.
Oh, 100%.
So did he basically face palm them out? Like, no, get back out.
Yes,
Pretty.
basically. Gabby pushed her face into the Maelstrom, and he just pie-faced her and then pushed her out and closed up the zipper.
The question is, who keeps up on opening up all these rifts to let other deities into the Maelstrom? Is it Mr. Grey again?
Maybe. And they're not getting in, it's just that portions of their power are getting in.
Yeah.
But it is that time, once again, and now it is time for me to find who is streaming. There's a fair few people that are streaming. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 6 people. I have a D6.
I have a pen. I have an apple.
Let's put them together.
It appears we are rating the amazing farting tart.
Yes, we are rating the pudding pastry. Huzzah! How wonderful!
Le petit,
Joe, I see you fucking doing shit.
Hmm?
Joe is in Tart's chat, just like waits. You know what?
Corvin, why don't you take that damage that I did to you?
Joe thinks he can get away from us. He can't.
No.
It's 23
We're gonna let him cook.
Yeah, so I should be at that.
So we're gonna sit here and listen to Tart's stream for just a minute.
That is the only good news I have for
Glorious.
you.
And
Corvin
we're gonna
and
fuck with Joe a little bit.
I mean, who doesn't like doing that?
both are going to be Flit only partially, but enough to where this takes
The man
effect.
should get loved after all.
Indeed.
You and Corvin, with another scream, are submerged in this immense, impenetrable darkness. I need both of you to make me a wisdom save.